Now seeing a quorum, I'll call the Board of Trustees of Pasadena City College to open session. Ms. Brown, will you lead us in the pledge of allegiance?
Absolutely. Where's that? Please put your hand on your heart. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Ms. Brown. This is the time for public comments on closed session agenda items.
We have one speaker card here for Paul Price.
Good afternoon. My name is Paul Price. As some of you may or may not know me. I'm speaking on behalf of Katie Datko. I am a faculty member here, have been for over 25 years, and I would like to talk about the relevance and the importance of her work, specifically having to do with DE. When we first launched the DE program, we hired Katie and we had seminars, particularly on Friday afternoons and Saturdays, and she trained most of us so well that our DE program really got off the ground on the one hand, and on the other hand, when we went through accreditations, our DE program received commendations. And so I just kind of wanted to talk on her behalf. Don't know if your minds are already made up, and I don't know if my talk is meaningless. But certainly I hope that you would consider her situation, and certainly when you go home and you look in the mirror, that you say to yourself, whatever the decision is, did I do the right thing? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's the only, no other speaker cards.
Okay. Any public comments to, excuse me?
Ms. Datko would like to address the board in open session.
in open
Sure.
session.
Yes,
Sure.
in
Okay.
open session.
She needs that in,
That's
yes.
correct. And it'll be no more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Dear members of the board, thank you for allowing me to speak with you today. In advance, please excuse any issues I may have because addressing the board, I'm recovering from surgery currently. Before you, you have my latest evaluation packet. After 6 years at PCC, my evaluation states that I have not been recommended for tenure at PCC. I know you will receive the appropriate documentation from the district regarding my review and have already received correspondence from me regarding unethical issues with my past reviews. I will make certain to forward my rebuttal concerning the demonstrable falsehoods in my current review directly to you. So, rather than focusing on the negative, I wish to focus on my many accomplishments on this campus and then present you with the direct words of some of the people I have served. In 2015, the ACC-JC specifically noted my work on the Model Course Program and for DE in one of the few state commendations for PCC. As an interim associate dean, I secured a $70,000 grant for student success, worked with the Online Education Initiative to help them vet and promote Canvas as a statewide learning management system, and secured national certification from Quality Matters, the gold standard in the DE field for our online support services, the majority of which I personally developed. I continue to be contacted by faculty across the state and even inside higher ed for interviews about my work as a manager and our training programs, previous training programs, I should say. Last year, I received the Academic Senate President's 10+1 Award for Distance Education Program Development. It was a great honor to be recognized by the PCC faculty and Academic Senate for my support of their teaching. I was also recognized publicly by the C&I Committee for my 4 years of service. This year, I have received the statewide KTSA Ron Lee Technology Award to develop an open educational resource for transfer-level ESL classes. Many of my new ESL and Language Division colleagues are excited about this and have written not only to congratulate me, but also to ask me if I can share my resources and help them develop similar initiatives. In addition, I have been invited to speak and represent PCC at many conferences since 2013, 12 presentations, and fact, I'll present at a regional conference in April, a statewide conference in this fall, and have been invited to teach Canvas at another district this spring. This is obviously the successful work of someone who cares deeply about our campus community and the CCC system. But I will let some of our campus communities speak for themselves. From a student. Hi, Miss Katie. I know it's really late on a Friday night, but I'm actually working on a reading response I need to do for my history of photography class. I want to take the time to thank you for all the lessons and new learnings you have given us. I've been in college for a year and a half, and this short winter session, I felt like I learned more than I ever had in my past years of studying. Sometimes I felt insecure about my abilities. The insecurities sometimes brought me down, made me believe I wasn't good in anything, leaving me with no motivation at school. Today, my dad told me how happy he was because he saw me really happy and motivated at school. I wanted to really thank you for teaching me so many things and bringing the best effort out of me. This really kept me motivated throughout the short-term session, and for sure, it taught me what I'm capable. I completely enjoyed writing this last reading response essay for my other class. It was just amazing seeing how I applied everything we learned in this past week. Again, thank you, and I can't even explain how thankful I am for all of your teaching. This email from a student speaks for itself. I submit to you as documentation, which I will give you after this, all of my student reviews from my first term of teaching ESL after a 12-year hiatus. Reviews which never dipped below a 4.18 out of 5 for any of the criteria measured. More than just meeting the threshold level, so that you can see how much I have helped our students attain their goals. I would also like to read something received from a faculty member when I was in the DE department. As I reflect on model courses that you've helped me with this year, I wanted to send you some feedback on the virtual field trips. You helped me write the VFT. How inspiring for me and ultimately from the students. I haven't ever heard of something like this, and with your help, this VFT has reinvigorated the model course. Thank you again for another stellar year with Distance Ed. Always a pleasure and always a remarkable learning experience. And finally, a few words from my current peer reviewers. Professor Datko's lesson reflected an awareness of current pedagogical theories, and the textbooks were also appropriate. The use of varied teaching approaches, that is, having students volunteer answers, go to the smartboard to write answers, work independently and in pairs, and review exercises in the text, demonstrated her sensitivity to different student learning styles and her flexibility in accommodating them. Professor Datko's animated, open, and engaging teaching style made visiting her class a pleasure, not only for me, but obviously for her students as well. I would be remiss if I did not also comment on the online component of the hybrid course. I was fortunate to have been given observer status, and as such, I was able to accompany the course for the second half of the semester. This afforded me with the opportunity to observe not only a number of assignments, such as discussions, but also the students' participation in them, which was very informative. The student engagement that I observed in the classroom was also reflected in the online discussions. I was impressed by the evident enthusiasm evident in student posts. Furthermore, the design and utilization of Canvas, as well as other resources for the course, was impressive. I found myself visiting the course just to see what Professor Datko had posted. To conclude, Professor Datko has made considerable effort to adapt to the transition from faculty instructional designer to ESL faculty, and I have no doubt that she will continue to contribute to PCC in her new position. While I believe that with her transfer from distance education to the languages division, the campus at large has suffered a great loss, I am confident that her professionalism will enrich the ESL program in the coming years. And from another peer reviewer, I've had the pleasure of working with Katie in a variety of capacities. Katie was the go-to for all things online. She was the lead for, I'm gonna have to take a breath for all of these, online instruction, in-house facilitator training, online course design, online course evaluation, curriculum instruction form de-evaluator, statewide LMS selection lead, and a mentor for many faculty across disciplines. Her willingness to assist and share ideas to address best practices and overall strategies to address equity, retention, and student success is why we were so successful and received an accommodation. I know it takes a village, but our successes in the online environment stem from her commitment to our students. She did a fantastic job in the classroom, and I feel honored to have had the opportunity to evaluate Katie. I do feel the need to share, it is a shame we, in caps, have put her amazing online instructional skill set on the back burner, which has essentially left the campus with no guidance or direction for online pedagogy, tips, ideas, and course design collaboration. She is an asset to the languages division, but I feel she can better serve our campus community if her role assignment included some component of distance education. These are the words of students and peers who feel that for many years I have contributed enormously to the campus. Yet, for the third time, my review has been illegally and unethically conducted, and I have been denied tenure once again. This is not the first time the board has been informed of these matters, which also include documentation from another faculty member detailing the negative intent of an earlier review. There is something clearly wrong with this picture, and I call upon you as the board to have the integrity to investigate it. My peers, colleagues, and students are eagerly awaiting a just and fair resolution in this matter. Thank you once again for your time and attention, and I would like to leave you with my unsatisfactory student evaluations.
Thank you, Ms. Dadko, and thank you for coming at this time on Friday. Is there any public comments on non-agenda items today? If not, we will go into closed session with to take up Government Code 54957, Employee Discipline, Dismissal, and Release. This meeting is closed. We are in open session, and the board did take action. 4 members of the board who are present unanimously voted to not employ one probationary faculty member as a tenured employee, that the board find the employee was evaluated as required by Education Code Section 87607, and to direct the interim vice president of Human Resources to issue a notice of decision pursuant to Education Code 86610 to that effect, and that adopts the grounds set out in the president's recommendation as the reasons for this decision. Any other comments? This meeting is adjourned.